Hi, everybody. Let me make sure I'm on and you can hear me. Okay. Let me make sure I'm on. Okay, so we are at day 1660, and I'm so sorry. We are burning the midnight oil. It can't be helped because so much is happening. So many responses that we're getting, so many responses, and that requires a lot of answers, lots of letters, lots of communication, lots of forensics that is coming out. And the message on this 1660th day is of Richard being premeditatedly murdered on Fort Bliss in the line of duty for reporting criminal trafficking, fraud, waste, and abuse, and knowing about the what do you call it? The supply chain. The supply chain. The area, the training area. More and more forensics is coming in, and the message is that there is no such thing as a perfect crime. The evidence is always there. You cannot cover up lies. You just cannot cover up lies. And they can delete as much as they think that they can, or they can issue an unlawful order with open purse to renovate the basement room in building 2479. They can, no expense, just got to renovate it immediately, and, when you're connected with the military like we've been all of our lives, the military doesn't do things like that. No, especially in a barracks room, a barracks building. You know, no stops, no illegally, absolutely risking your whole career and everything with no expenses, and just renovate immediately and put it forward, front of everything. Yes, so that, you know, they can delete, they can try to manipulate, they can try to intimidate. They, this criminal group that absolutely had fine-tuned their collaboration there with the Mexican cartels to conduct this billion-dollar criminal trafficking network that absolutely reached to so many places. It's international. Richard's case is international, and it is a national security issue. It's so big, and we are very, very patient because doing this for 4 years, we absolutely know how big this is, how it intertwines with the Walmart mass shooting case, how the Walmart mass shooting case in itself is big, not as big as Richard's case, but it's big, because absolutely so many irregularities, right? And how Richard's case is intertwined with the Santa Teresa International Jetport and the connection with El Mayo, um, and these narco, uh, well, really, what Trump calls them, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, the narco teas, uh, that's, yeah, I have to be careful what I say so that, we don't get a ding or whatever on the channels. But narco tea, narco up to no good teas, narco federal crime, narco treason. Um, but no, these are a group that they are now designated the big T word, and it is shaking things up because they are facing the death penalty. And you saw Pam Bondi. She one of her first things that she did was to reinstate the death penalty because these crimes are so egregious, y'all. You're taught they are so egregious, and I don't think that we absolutely know the full extent of how bad their crimes are because we don't know what they've done to these hundreds of thousands of children that they trafficked, what they did, that are now, we're hearing, mostly dead. Can you imagine? President Trump has this information. He has information. And his mental stability is absolutely magnificent. Magnificent. I just can't even imagine because I know, um, with our family, we praise him all the time, because of how patient we've been and how we have uh, known that we have to be strong, that we have to be stable mentally as well as physically to get through this, and with each other, that we have to be so supportive with each other. After all, we're all humans. And this is knowing this kind of information, what they did to Richard, the forensics coming in, the readings of the autopsies, the witness accounts, the confessions, the all the things that are out there that we have had to read through, and then to have experienced the retaliation of these sex cultists, because they're like, they're not only um, criminals um, in their criminal trafficking and what they peddle, but they're also mentally sick, sexually sick, absolutely, um, and being harassed and being threatened and going through all of that to really stay focused and keep doing what we were asked to do, which was to investigate our son's murder and bring forth leads. This is what we were asked to do by the CID, by the command, and to know who the bad players are now. Um, the frustration, um, and knowing, okay, uh, this case is so big that it is a national security threat, that it is international, that it is going to get the attention that it absolutely calls for, because it is, look, it's so big. You know, you cannot have a huge tree in the middle of your road and not address it, right? If you want to go forward, to as Doge and Elon Musk want to identify the fraud, the waste, and abuse, to for Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, to get justice in this country, to address that, to address the criminal trafficking, to address the border issue, to address the children issue, to address the cartel issue, address the vitamin F. Somebody called it the vitamin F narco trafficking, to address the big T criminal group. You have to address the Walmart mass shooting case. You have to address Richard Halliday's case. Um, you know, so it's coming, right? So it's coming, and we are very patient. Um, but the thing is this whole Walmart case, where to put together really was, it took me a long time, many hours to put that together. Um, and when you're doing that, this is why I really love writing poetry, why I like painting, why I like putting children's books together, workbooks. Um, and now with this new ability with AI, with the AI music, to be able to put together music like this. It is anyone that knows our family. Absolutely, this is such a great opportunity for teaching, because some people learn by reading the reports, right? By reading short social media posts, by looking at memes, and some people, uh, really, really learn by these music videos. It really helps understand how big this case is, and it's absolutely intertwined with the Walmart case because of 3905 Bliss Avenue, because of Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. Why does Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia's family have Richard was in possession of Richard's belongings after he was murdered? That's a good question, right? That's a good question. Why is her family, and she's absolutely connected to the Walmart mass shooting case, and absolutely connected to the very questionable um, and being investigated fraudulent Walmart mass shooting victims funds, over $12 million, where we don't have transparency except for maybe $300,000 of it. Um, why is she in possession, her family in possession of Richard's belongings after he was murdered? That's a really, really good question. So, so this Walmart case, it's big, right? It's big, and it absolutely is connected to President Trump. It was absolutely a targeted effort and attack on President Trump. Um, Clearly, it was to push Beto O'Rourke forward and his failed campaign. Clearly, there's no doubt about that. When you look at the evidence clearly um, confirms that this was absolutely um, a quid pro quo between um, the federal courthouse and El Paso Matters, because they absolutely knew that the federal courthouse had this huge conflict of interest, that Patrick Crusius's family was found in the federal courthouse in the very offices of Judge Guadarrama, the federal judge in the case. And that Michael Maela is not just just a passing person in the courthouse, that he is the office manager for Judge Guadarrama. And it's huge, right? That's huge. And that his daughter um, is married to Patrick Crusius's brother, Brian Blake Crusius. And that his son was being an intern in the DA's office with Jaime Esparza, with not just Jaime Esparza, but also with James Montoya. James Montoya knows Michael Maella Jr. Well, he's not a junior, he's Michael Gianni Maella. And he's very, he's someone you want to know. And, when you know that someone is very good with computers, that they are the number one hacker, that they are, like they know how software works, right? That's what that means. They know how software works. You absolutely get on their good side. I know that with everything that in all businesses, you want to know the person that is good with computers, so that when you have a glitch, you can give them a call, and you want to be on their best side because you want them to come right away when you have a glitch of uploading anything, or your computer needs some tender loving care. You want the computer man, right? And that's Michael Maella. He's even better than that, right? He's even better. And he was, of course, intern in the DA's. And I would not even put it past uh, this to ask, was he working on the computers in the federal courthouse? Because when you're that talented with computers, um, and and we get the forensics, the forensics that we have is that there was a lot of tampering, a lot of deleting, a lot of manipulating. And those are with files, and those are on the computer, and a lot of hiding and all of that. And if that's going on, red flags go up around Michael Gianni Malaya, Malela, Maela, Maela. Sorry. And it's what, 12:30 here. Um, so you know, to be an intern in the DA's office with Jaime Esparza and James Montoya, they absolutely know who he is. And especially because he was also an intern at the FBI field office in El Paso with Jesus Eddie Nieto Jr., right? And he's married to Cynthia Hernandez, that works in intelligence and at Fort Bliss. Um, you know, so the big thing that everyone needs to know is that we have it confirmed that he leaked, that this FBI agent that Michael Maia, was an intern for, that this agent, Nieto, absolutely is the leaker, the tattleteller. He is the leaker that not only leaked the charges or the allegations against Lalani Hart and Tavita Nusa, the report of the prime whistleblower in our son's murder case that identified them as suspects in Richard's murder case. But also, um, Nieto went further. He did a double leak. He leaked Judge Rodriguez's name to the very people that he was reporting. So he put a judicial officer, he put a whistleblower, he put an individual in danger, in danger. And this is uh, uh, this is not an oops. An FBI of his position absolutely knows not to do that. Okay, so this is absolutely criminal, and we have that. And how are they going to leak it? They're going to, do they print it out and give it to them, or do they send it through encryption? Right? Do they send it through encryption? And so you would need to understand how to do all that. And, so Michael, Mylela, Myela, uh, it's just late, y'all. It's just late. But he would absolutely know. He would be able to tell us how it's done because that's his thing. That's his thing. And not only was he at the DA's office with Jaime Esparza and James Montoya, but he was also and at the FBI office with Jesus Nieto, but he was also at Walmart security. He worked for Walmart security when, look, no one can argue that Walmart security was breached, had failed on that day, August 3rd, 2019. Nobody can argue that. Where are the videos? The videos. They release one picture and it's a very questionable picture, right? What really happened at that Walmart? And, it's kind of like, what do we have to wait for? Do we have to wait for what, 60 years? Um, 60 years to go by, like this whole thing with the Kennedy assassination that's finally coming out. Finally, it takes a president of the United States to get justice in the Kennedy assassination. Where is the press? See, this is where there's so much co- um, common ground, right? There's so much common ground here. Where is the press demanding year after year, every day, um, about the more than one shooter um, at the Kennedy assassination in that case? And demanding justice, demanding transparency of our government. Where is the press? Right? That's the that's the job of the press. Something's going on with our press. And for Bob Moore of El Paso Matters to do this quid pro quo with the federal courthouse, with the manager of the federal courthouse, when they are the family of the alleged Walmart mass shooter, and to keep that name hidden low, uh, out of sight, to not reveal that. I mean, it was a miracle that we found that. That was God's hand. That was absolutely God's hand. No one ever wanted us to find out that the federal courthouse office manager's daughter was married to Patrick Crusius's brother, and that his son had this amazing skill of computer hacking, right? Software hacking. You know, nobody wanted us to find that information. That's what I'm saying. There's, you know, you just can't keep that kind of deception quiet forever. And, and why does it take a president, a magnificent president like President Trump, to give the people transparency, right? We want transparency. We want to know where our money has gone, uh, what we're going to have to pay for as far as this debt. $37 trillion in debt. Wouldn't we like to know why we are enslaved, right? Why, $37 trillion is a lot of money. What did that buy? What did that buy? We'd like to know. We'd like to know. And listening today to Doge and Elon Musk with his son there, which was just an amazing press conference. It was just amazing. I don't know about you, but I just watched the whole thing. It was like so amazing to see. I was like trying to see how just absolutely controlled and disciplined this young little boy was. Um, you know, he was amazing. Uh, of course he mooked a little bit, but he was absolutely amazing. Wow. But it was just really jaw-dropping information. The information was so jaw-dropping. I'm so glad that little X was there to soften the blow, because we need to stay very focused. Why we want transparency, why we need to be focused. It's for the future of little X. It's a future of our children, of our country. And so it was just an amazing press conference. And it just really shows that, well, I was thinking of this series, this book by Anthony Trollope. It's called The Way We Live Now, right? The Way We Live Now. And it's about the Ponzi schemes. It's about how these unnecessary jobs in the government get so out of hand with the fraud and the waste and abuse that it becomes like a criminal syndicate, a Ponzi scheme, and then it develops into something very violent. And yeah, uh, it just the whole time that Elon Musk was speaking, I was thinking about this it's a mini series from this book, from this novel, and if you haven't read the book or if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend Anthony Trollope to you. Um, just amazing view. It's a little bit easier to read Trollope than Shakespeare. Shakespeare is like the mega writer on human nature. If you want to understand human nature and how we interact and react, you read Shakespeare, right? Because it's just a look into man's soul, right? Trollope is like that, a little bit easier reading right now, right? Um, and that's exactly what this press conference was reminding me about. It's like Elon Musk gave us a window into the soul of the United States, and it was shocking. It was really shocking, disappointing, but we need Christ. We need Christ. We need grace. And he did it with his son there, which was a real gift to keep us focused on what's at stake here. And so, and why is it that it takes President Trump, oh, two billionaires, right? Two billionaires, to do this, and you have all these other cases, and the media is not doesn't have our backs. They just now for Richard's case, it's so big, it's gonna happen. But there's other cases, like I would say Enrique Roman Martinez. I would say Elder Fernandez. I would say Asia Graham. You know, there are cases out there that, how long do they have to wait, right? How long do they have to wait? Why isn't the media demanding answers? Um, when you look at Enrique Roman Martinez's case, it's horrific, and it's just, uh, if you are a military leader, you wouldn't. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I would demand answers. And I would demand it to be exposed and transparent, to send a message. You don't mess with my soldiers, right? You don't mess with my soldiers. And it's like, who has Richard's back, right? Who has Enrique's back? Who has Asia Graham's back? Who has Elder Fernandez's back, right? This is um, uh, this is a huge point. So we are absolutely moving forward, and we remember these cases. 2020, 2021 were just horrific, and we absolutely will try our best to have their backs. And we know that Richard's case, um, it's just, I'm telling you, it's snowballing. And arrests, and this is what I named the whole podcast, arrests are starting to happen. Arrests are starting to happen. And it's not going to be like we think or imagine it to be. This arrest of the CBP agent is huge. During his arrest time, I'm going to put up the picture. It's really huge. It's been just so busy today. And if anyone has that picture, post it up on one of the posts. It is huge. And the article, and I'm going to really uh, uh, talk to our team, to get the ins and outs of this. Um, but it's big, and then more were arrested. Um, oh yeah, so it is absolutely beginning, because those port of entries are very important for Richard's case. Um, Also, this Walmart that was in a very highly populated narco tea that like to traffic the vitamin F. Um, that area of Chihuahua, Mexico, has a huge, huge Walmart. I mean, it's big. It's probably bigger than the one at Cielo Vista. Um, it's big. And it's right next to a Sam's also. And it was burnt to a crisp. A crisp. Okay? Not part of it. It was burnt to a crisp. And, you know, I think it was a clear message, because, if it was electrical or something like that, you'd have part of it. No, this building, it's a goner. It is. It's a goner. And so I'm thinking that and we're hearing, a general also lost his life. And the violence in Chihuahua right now is it's bad. It's bad. And we heard from Tucker Carlson in the articles, and I posted it yesterday, that these weapons that were slated to go to Ukraine weren't really meant to go to Ukraine. They were trafficking them to and selling them to the Mexican narcoties, the Mexican narcoties. And so, the violence is very real. And the criminal trafficking is very real. The botched uh, Walmart case is very well, uh, the minute I was really reviewing Patrick Crucius, I knew something was not right, and I even said it on here. I said, I think he has autism. He has, and then we, look into it more, and then Judge Guadarrama, absolutely severe mental health condition, and then you look into it more and more, and then all of a sudden they have to admit that he has severe autism, that that the family was even being recommended that they shouldn't have even had let him live when he was a child. That's a quote. That's not me. That's from what Loretta Lynn Hewitt in a pretrial hearing testified to. And, so Patrick Crucius, no way, and we're hearing from Austin that no way could he have done this on his own. And, hopefully we don't have to wait 60 years like the Kennedy that everyone knew. It confirms everything that everyone knew, that there is no way that a lone shooter could have done what they did to President Kennedy. Okay, we knew it. We all knew it. And, and the media didn't have our backs. The media didn't have our backs. And with the Walmart mass shooting case, with the conflict of interest in the federal courthouse, the media didn't have our backs. They made a deal, and that deal is called a quid pro quo. A, a quid pro quo. And, it gives them access into the court. And see, it gets violent, it gets bad, because with that quid pro quo, with the access into the courthouse, with the leverage against the Mayas, and also Guadarrama, Judge Guadarrama, and probably Judge Cordone, um, with that kind of leverage, um, then El Paso Matters can intimidate. El Paso Matters can become political attack dogs. El Paso Matters and Bob Moore could do what they did to Yvonne Rosales, a duly elected district attorney. They could do that because Judge Guadarrama didn't do anything, because he was compromised then with this conflict of interest. Clearly. So if you're wondering why he didn't put his foot down about what was going on in the Walmart mass shooting case, there you have your answer. It's as simple as that. And the media didn't have our backs. The media didn't have El Paso's back. So this whole thing with El Paso Matters, that's a lie too, because they didn't have a integrity to say El Paso Matters. They were in it for a deal, and we know that District Attorney um, Yvonne Rosales was investigating the distribution of the $12 million plus of the Walmart mass shooting victims fund that was in the control of El Paso Community Foundation, which is the mother entity of El Paso Matters. and had put that money into Westar Bank. Westar Bank is also, this choice bank for, contractors, generals, things like this. The evidence is there, the forensics is there. Um, it might take a while to learn what's going on and to piece the puzzle pieces together to make sense. It was a miracle that we found this information about Alexis Maya marrying Brian Blake Crucius. It was really just a miracle again, God's hand on all of this. And but where is the media being held accountable for not having the people's back, not doing their job, not doing, especially with the 501c3. And let's talk about the money too. So they get this privilege, 501c3, this tax-free privilege. But look at Joe Spencer. Look at the DAs. They are demanding, and the federal courthouse, they are judges, right? They are attorneys. They are, and they get paid. They get paid. They get a salary. And yet, they demanded more. They demanded a bonus. Okay? They demanded a bonus. Millions, what, 7 million, 9 million, $20 million. They wanted a bonus. Okay? And, what have they done to deserve the bonus? We've only had a few pre-trial hearings. You have the victims um, not getting justice at all, not being able to move forward. This case is going to go until 2028 now. This is the trajectory that it is going. It's going to be 2028 because it is frozen right now. It doesn't even have a schedule right now. So, what have they done to earn the bonus? What has Judge Guadarrama done to earn his bonus? What about, Michael Maya, the office manager? What has he done to earn his bonus? What has, you know, Joe Spencer and Jaime Esparza and, um, Bill Hicks and what have they done or to earn their bonus? Why do they even have to be paid a bonus? Why do they even have to be paid a bonus? Right at this point, because of their failure, and everywhere you look is their failure and their crime, I think they need to pay restitution. They need to pay it back and pay it double back. It's just that egregious what they've done. It's so egregious. And there has to be a message that this cannot be tolerated, this cannot be allowed. So, thank you, Anicia, for your prayers and your love. And and I'm hoping that I am absolutely hitting on all the points that because the news is coming in so fast without, there is forensic evidence that we received. And, um, I can tell you this, it looks like Yvonne Rosales is the district attorney. She's the duly elected district attorney. It looks like it. Looks like it. And there's more. And there's so much more. Um, so we're getting very close to oh well, I hope you enjoy the exposing of the fraud because that gives us an opportunity to know where to start cleaning up. And with that cleaning up, we will absolutely get to the bottom of what happened to Richard. We know really what happened to him, but really, just to really lay it out there and also to get his remains and get some closure on this. And hopefully that will also give many other families closure too, because of all the implications and all the dots that will be connected um, with the information that comes out. So thank you so much. God bless you.